Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be talking about the best champions for the Victory Track in Season 28. So this season is actually going to be interesting, honestly. There is a huge benefit to mutant attackers. As you can see, whenever your parry stun is purified, cleansed, or prevented due to ability accuracy, instead you inflict a 3-second stun passive, which is unaffected by ability accuracy. And if you throw a special while this stun is active, it pauses the stun for the duration of your special, and you get 300% attack for the duration of the special, which is actually very strong. Like, you can even use 7-star rank 1s. They're going to do better than like some 7-star rank 3 other classes. And this node helps you here to actually benefit with this stunning performance node, because every time you or the opponent gets a bar of power, the defender gets 2 stacks of cleanse. So this meta actually cancels out a lot of champions that benefit, or not benefit, but like deal most of their damage with debuffs. And we're going to talk about that. And then here you can't really use the same special attack in a row. If you do that, there's a 5-second timer, and if you don't land a heavy attack before the timer expires, you take 50% of your health, which is huge. And then for the Gladiator Circuit Week 1, the only thing that's getting added here is just an encroaching root, which basically every 16 seconds you're going to become rooted for 4 seconds, unless you throw a special attack and snap out of it. Now, for the best champions to use offensively, I'm going to say here actually first some champions that I would put in the deck as mutants, even if you have them a 7-star rank 1, and then I'm going to mention like 5 that are insane, 6 that are insane. So champions that will work, Dani is going to be very strong. She has strong special attacks, so Dani will definitely be amazing. Domino, she could honestly get some crazy, insane yellow numbers, maybe even some critical bleeds. Now, I don't know if she can actually hack the node. I would say probably not, but who knows, it's Domino. Another interesting one is Gambit. You know, if this guy crits on the special 2 with 300% attack, everyone is dead 100%. Dust can also be used on attacking this meta, I'm pretty sure of it, because you can get some nice prowess with your heavy attack and throw out like a big special 2, special 1, and like destroy the opponent very quickly. You can also use Gentle. I can see him being pretty strong. He has some strong damage with the Daunted during the special attacks. You can also use Havoc. He does some prowess. I believe he hits pretty hard with the special 3 as well, so everyone should die from that. You can also use Kitty Pryde. I don't know if you guys checked the short that I got, but she's going to be the best counter to Bullseye in this match. She's insanely fast. If the opponent doesn't die from a special 2, if you don't get those nice crits, special 1, special 2 is going to kill anyone. And Kitty can get to that pretty fast, 3 bars of power, because you can be very aggressive with her. There's also going to be Nightcrawler that can work. He does hit pretty hard with the specials. Got some nice prowess into him, especially if he's awakened. You can also use Weapon X. And those are like the decent ones. But now we're getting to like the insane ones. So the insane one first here is Bishop. Obviously 300% attack with this guy's special 2 is just going to kill anyone. Even if you get like 1 crit, I feel it's just going to kill anyone. And if they don't die, they're just going to die from the Incinerate afterwards. Deadpool X-Force is going to be insane. 1 special 1 probably kills most champions, because he used to do that on Power Shield. And then we also have North Star, man. I'm not even joking, this guy is going to be top tier attacker in this meta, because with 1 special 2, I've had on the practice stream, I've had 1 special 2, and then I just killed the opponent, like just like that. And if they don't die, because North Star consumes less power with your specials, you can quickly get to the special 1, and they're just going to be insta-dead, like 100%. And the good thing about North Star is that if the opponent tries to have like some skill champions with like those crit resist, you can place that armor break and, you know, reduce their crit resistance to 0, which actually, now that I think about it, it would be hard to do because there's a lot of debuffs. But for some reason, I remember, I don't know if it was a bug, but I was fighting a Killmonger and I still could place the armor break even though he had cleanse charges. You know, maybe that's a bug, so yeah. Moving on, we have Onslaught. Of course, this guy is gonna kill anyone, special 2, special 1, anyone's dead. And then Storm, bro. Storm is crazy. She has such a high chance to crit. I believe it's like 35% chance No, it's 26% chance, but it goes like 30 with like your masteries and stuff like that, stat focus. So she's gonna get like, most of the times you can get at least one crit on the special 2, which is going to be enough. And then last one that is going to be very OP is Sunspot. Sunspot, special 1, special 2. I don't think anything is going to survive. Sometimes maybe even just the special 2 is going to be enough. He is that crazy. Now you don't want to use Archangel because you don't get too many of your pirates with the cleanse. And Negasonic here is the only mutant that doesn't benefit from this node because she has her own passive stuns. And her own passive stuns do not count for the boosted attack you get. Now for the skill class, there's not many attackers that actually work here because most of them just, rely on debuffs. But some that could work on offense are Bullseye. I don't expect a lot of people to use Bullseye on attack, but he could be decent for like an annoying science champion that you don't have a good counter for. Crossbones is going to be amazing, like a great photon counter as well. Doesn't rely on debuffs. Might be a bit hard to like pause your furies, but yeah, if you can get to your heavies in after the opponent's specials are heavy, it's not that big of a deal. Kate Bishop can definitely work. She has passive, so she doesn't really care about the cleanse. And then lastly, Black Panther Civil War. I think he's fine. Some of his bleeds on the special 2 are not going to like stick with the cleanse, but sometimes, man, if you max ramp this guy, at least as a rank 3, he can kill people with just like the burst damage on the special 2. Doesn't even need the bleeds. Now, moving on to the tech class. The tech class also has some champions that benefit from their debuffs, or actually use their debuffs to deal most of their damage. But some, they don't. So Bastion, if you have Bastion, he definitely works. I checked it here. The second hit of his heavy places, it is an increasing passive, which is going to increase your damage. So since it's a passive, it doesn't matter. Cleanse is not going to affect you. You can also use like Nimrod if you want. He does have those passive shocks, doesn't really care about the cleanse. Penny probably not be able to be used. I'm not sure about Prowler if he's going to be great, but you cannot use like Red Skull. You can't really use Sentinel. You can use Shocker for sure. It doesn't really matter with the cleanse, because if you want to go for the special 2, it's a passive stun. You can't really use Shooty. You can use Stark Spidey because you don't even debuff with them at all. And then lastly, unfortunately, Warlock is not going to work. Now, moving on to the Science class. Science class is like lots of debuffs around, man. But there are champions that actually don't really care about the cleanse. So Spot is, doesn't have the ruptures, but you just need to place them to actually ramp him, so he's going to be OP. Joe Fixit is great if you use the special 2 rotation and try to like crit the opponent, because you can't really go for the bleed rotation in this meta at all. You can use Photon, your debuffs are going to get purified. It doesn't matter though, you just need to place them like Spot to like start ramping up. You can also use Silk, but she might lose a bit of her damage because some of those physical vulnerabilities will, get cleansed. Hulk could be used as well. Some of your physical vulnerabilities will be cleansed as well, but I'm sure he can be used. And then lastly, Titania could be a very good counter for lots of things in this meta because it doesn't matter with the cleanse. Cosmic class, there's still some champions here that you can't really use because of the debuffs, but there's 3 that I believe are going to work. Atom Warlock can definitely be used. If you start the fight, you place the indefinite taunt, and then the opponent will be taunted even though they are going to have cleanse charges. But I guess the fight is going to go bad if you get like a passive AI, because then you won't really be able to place your taunt again. So you really need like RNG in your favor when using Atom Warlock. You can't really use Hyperion, unfortunately. Medusa you can use. You can get that Armor Shatter if you play this correctly. And then lastly, of course, Deathless Thanos. You can open the fight with the Armor Shatter and then go for the Fury special 2 and destroy the opponent without even having to worry about your Armor Shatter getting cleansed. And then lastly, for offense, we have some Mystics here that could work as well. Chavez is actually crucial in this meta because Serpent is going to be like the best defender easily. And then you have, of course, Juggernaut. You can use Kushala only if she's high sig, because high sig is going to allow you to get those passives, which is what you want in this meta. And then you can also use like Shathra. It will be used, I'm sure, for like Serpents. And then lastly, where is she? White Tiger is pretty decent as well. So you definitely would have to include some of those champions because of Serpent. Because like I said, the worst defender in this meta is Serpent. So let's actually talk about some defenders here. So Serpent is going to be the #1 defender easily. Enchantress will be very annoying. She's going to stall you. You won't be able to get your parries in. It's just harder to get openings. Bullseye is going to be such a joke in this meta. Like, honestly, I might not even include my rank 3. He's going to be so easy. Domino could be tough because some of your typical counters will not really work. Like, you can't really use Howard. You can't really use Ironheart. Jack you can't really use because your special 2 is not going to place any debuffs on the opponent. Shuri is going to be slow. Red Skull, very slow. And then Penny, also very slow. I don't know about, Prowler. But yeah, Domino will actually be interesting in this meta for sure. Warlock is a nice defender in this meta too, because most people are going to use mutants. And if this guy, I don't think there's a mutant that has an armor break. So if someone tries to use a mutant against your Warlock, because most of people's decks are going to be filled with mutants in this meta, they cannot crit against him, so they can't really nuke him, which is, it's just great. Warlock is going to be a really, really great defender. Zola. So actually, let me talk about Zola towards the end. There's 3 defenders that I think are going to be insane in this meta. 3 or 4 actually, and I'm going to explain you why. But first, let's talk about some others. So Man-Thing could honestly be a bit of a problem too, because you can't really nuke him too fast. And with Cleanse, you can't really, place a lot of debuffs to actually bypass his like crit resist and his high health. So I think I can see him making a comeback. Arcade could be also a problem because he's a tech champion, can't really nuke him too fast. And if you really, need to heavy him, you can't really parry heavy him in this meta. Red Skull, same thing, you can't really nuke him with his crit resistance. Deathless Thanos, same thing here, you can't really nuke him because of his protection. And then the 4 champions that I think are going to be very annoying in this meta, most likely we have Negasonic, because she has non-contact attacks, meaning you can't use mutant champions to stun her and then let the cleanse purify it to get the passive stun. So that means you can't use a mutant against Negasonic. You need to keep that in mind. Because I tried to do it and then I realized that she has non-contact attacks. And then obviously other champions with non-contact attacks. Shuri, same thing. You can't stun her. Zola has like 2 non-contact attacks. You rarely can stun him, but I guess there's like a chance you can do it if you're like super lucky with the AI and like skill with your reparries, but it's gonna be tough. And then lastly, of course, we have Onslaught. You can't really stun this guy. It's kind of like Zola in a sense. So those 4 champions will be interesting because you cannot really nuke them using mutant champions. And yeah, that's gonna do it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.